Hi everyone, my name is Emily Teacher, and today we're reading Exploring Earth's Last Frontier. By the middle of the 20th century, the Earth's continents had been explored from pole to pole. But even though water covers three-quarters of the Earth's surface, much of the deep ocean floor remained a mystery. Auguste Piccard, a Belgian scientist whose curiosity was piqued by the unknown, changed that. In 1932, he had broken the world's altitude record by going 10 miles up in a balloon. He next planned to design and build a vessel to explore the deepest parts of the ocean. So, we're going to read about Auguste Piccard and how he created something to help explore the ocean. On October 26, 1948, Piccard made his first dive off the coast of Africa in a bathyscaphe, a large, hollow, spherical vessel made of thick steel. The word comes from two Greek words, bathys, deep, and scaphe, a light boat. The bathyscaphe could descend into the inky blackness of the ocean depths. With its powerful searchlights, it could probe the ocean floor. Those inside were able to look out through the window made of thick layers of acrylic plastic. Buoyancy was provided by huge tanks containing gasoline, which is lighter than seawater. The vessel hung beneath these tanks. Iron weights fixed to the outside of the hull by magnets were used as ballast, causing the bathyscaphe to descend. So Piccard made this amazing machine, the bathyscaphe, right? It says it's a hollow spherical vessel. So kind of like a circle, right? Or a globe. So if you looked around this vessel, it would look the same no matter how you were looking at it because it's spherical. The first test dive was made in water where the seabed lay just 12 fathoms below the surface. Piccard and the other crew member were bolted inside the bathyscaphe, which was then swung over the side of the support ship and submerged. As the vessel sank below the surface, it filled with an eerie blue light created by sunlight passing through the water. It took just a few minutes for the two pioneers of underwater exploration to reach the ocean floor. Shortly afterward, Piccard detached the iron weights. The bathyscaphe rose to the surface. So this was their first test dive. They are bolted inside, so they're stuck inside this machine. It goes under the water, and this blue light starts to come in, right? This amazing phenomenon because the sunlight is shining through the water. It makes the light appear blue. They make it underwater. Then Piccard takes the weights off and it comes back up to the surface. Several hours passed while the gasoline tanks were emptied. This had to be completed before the two men were able to clamber out of their cramped quarters. Despite the tedious wait, Piccard was a happy man. His mind was already on his ultimate dream, to explore the very deepest part of the ocean. He was asked later if he had been afraid during the descent. He replied that he had total confidence in the design and the construction of the vessel he had invented and therefore had no reason to be afraid. He was a very confident man. And of course, to see that this first test was a success and everything turned out perfectly, he was very, very happy. But he was thinking ahead, right? This wasn't that deep of a test run. What he wanted to do was to reach the deepest part of the ocean. So let's see what happened with his dream later. 12 years later, Piccard's son, Jacques, realized his father's dream. He and a United States naval officer descended 7 miles in a newer, larger, and stronger bathyscaphe to explore the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean. They knew that if there were a single defect in the metal, the enormous pressure would cause cracks to develop. That would rupture the vessel and crush them both. There was no way for them to escape if anything went wrong. Thankfully, the two crew members emerged unscathed after their great adventure. Jacques Piccard's father, who at the age of 76 was considered too old to make the descent himself, was waiting on the recovery vessel and was the first to greet them. So, Piccard's son Jacques, right, he was very much like his father because he shared the same dream, right? So, finally, his son created this stronger bathyscaphe to go into the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean. It mentions that if there was a single defect in the metal, the enormous pressure would cause cracks to develop. So the farther you go underwater, the more the pressure is that pushes on the ship, on the vessel, right? So if there was even a little problem with it, the pressure would make the vessel crack. And it could mean that it would break and flood with water, and there would be no way for the people inside to escape. But that's not what happened, right? It turned out great. It worked perfectly. And when they came back up to the top, um, Jacques' father, who made the first bathyscaphe, was there to wait and congratulate them. Thank you for reading with me today. We do have links related to each story. If you want the link for this video, you can find it down in the description below.